blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time.
If I were a poem, I would use my words to describe my emotions on the ears of all those willing to listen. I would openly discuss my pain and faults because it is more acceptable if a man shares his hurt in poetic form instead of the risk of appearing weak from regular conversations. If I were a poem, I would have the ability to direct movies inside your imagination, making you a co-star in a film produced from the script of my mind, creating urges to satisfy physical cravings orchestrated by the soundtrack of my pen. If I were a poem, I would be able to connect with the deepest, darkest section of your soul that you have kept hidden for so long. I will be able to recite a path of healing by shining a bright light of stanzas to guide you to your freedom from mental shackles placed on you from past experiences. If I were a poem, my life would be easier to travel. All I would have to do is ride on the sound waves of a microphone, backed by the acoustics of a stage. My worries will only be that the message sent by me would be received by those who truly needed to hear me. If I were a poem, I would genuinely receive love. The kind of love that does not have to be questioned because you know exactly why they love you. The type of love that some of us spend all our lives searching for but never find. If I were a poem, I would know the feeling of peace. But I'm not a poem. I'm a poet. I'm a poet that deals with the eternal pain, and I use my pen as a reliever of grief. 500 milligrams of lidocaine type ink to numb the pressures of life. So I am glad that I do not carry the burden of being a poem. Because if I were a poem, I'm not sure I would be strong enough to carry the weight of my depressions. I am Paul Cram, the poet, proof a woman can raise a man, and I want to welcome you to the experience. This is the Louisiana Lyricist Lounge, and tonight we have an individual who I'm telling y'all right now, we talk shit to each other. So y'all liable to hear all kinds of anything and everything, but I want y'all to know, man, everything is everything. Her name is the infamous lyricist, known to her family and close friends as Jade. She is from Alexandria, Virginia, and a mother of two beautiful children. She was first published at the age of 13 and introduced into the National Poets Society, also known as the Poet Society of America. She is a poet, a spoken word artist, a playwright, an actor, a member of the international poetry collective, the Honey Drippers, and now she has picked up another title, hosting her first open mic in Baltimore, Maryland, taking Society of Poets off of social media such as Clubhouse and placing the brand live for others to sit in a space and become an intricate part of her dream. Her motto at the society is, "We poet, we vibe. At society here, art thrives." I love that. So without further ado, everybody please clap your hands, stomp your feet, shake your keys, whatever you need to do, and help me welcome none other than the infamous lyricist.
What up, what up, what up?
What up, man?
What up, Creamy?
What's good with it? What's good with it?
Ain't much. Just, cooling, enjoying life as life is, Had a
Straight
great
up.
date. What's in your cup?
That
Let's
ain't your
talk about
business. It's sweet. Just know that it tastes good.
it. It's sweet. Okay.
It's sweet and it tastes good. We gonna call it cake juice. Just
You
all
know
right.
what?
Mhm.
Another sip.
All right. So your first publication was at the age of 13. So
Yes, sir.
tell me how did that feel to be a teenager and you have your works published? Like that had to be exciting.
It was exciting. It was scary. It was confusing. Um, I I had entered into a contest actually
Hmm.
through the National Poetry Society, and I won. And I was published on the first page of the anthology of other poets. And like I didn't know what to do. I was just like, "Mama, I won."
Mama, I
And my
did it.
mama was like, "You what?" I was like, "I won." And she bought that book and she was like, "My baby published." She was telling any and everybody who would listen. And I'm just like, "Okay."
Oh man, that's what's up. That's what's up. All right. So I see you have a few accolades, man, and a lot of titles, a lot of hats that you carry. So poet, spoken word artist, member of the International Poetry Collective, the Honey Drippers. You already know what
You
it is.
know.
Explain to me, like as far as your accolades go, like the path that you went on to achieve those accolades. What how much work did it take for you to get all of these?
A lot. A lot. It took a lot of work. I started writing when at a very young age. I was 5. Um, by 8, I started doing poetry, slam poetry, and doing poetry slams for the school, at Barnes and Noble, trying to do whatever I could. I became known as my school's poet. Then went on to do the National Poetry Slam. Those people hurt your feelings.
Yeah, yeah,
They hurt your feelings.
yeah.
Um, and then uh, being published, it kind of boosts my willingness to write. Because at first I used to write just as a hobby. Was my way of getting emotions out, getting thoughts out, and passing time when I was a little girl. And then as I got older, it was to pass on messages and tell stories you know, um, and then when I lost my mother, uh, it became more of a this is what I need to do. And it took me from being just a regular poet and spoken word artist to wanting to host, to wanting to expound my boundaries. I'm currently working on my very first book, both novel and poetry. Um, and now, got playwright under my name, the Dripnotist. Shout out to Kenya the Songbird and Asean Panda Owens. The Dripnotist is it's a show. You if you're not in the space when it air, you're gonna have to wait till you know everything
Mm,
come together
y'all don't want to
because
miss
my
that.
God,
Y'all don't want to miss that. So,
it's a
so
lot
we
of blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears.
lot of it, but it's all worth it, man. Like that, the Dripnotist. For those of you who don't know, man, just get on Clubhouse. I'm telling you, man, you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss it. So we're gonna do things a little bit different tonight. So I know I told you you're gonna do three in the first half and three in the second half, but damn all that. This is what we're gonna do. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna play this song by Kristen and Renee called Crazy Love. After that song goes off, I want you to hit us with two pieces. And then we're gonna go back to talking shit. And then you're gonna hit us with two more pieces. and then I'm gonna play another song. We got this. So we're
All
gonna let
right.
this.
I don't know what happened.
My
Yeah,
bad.
oh yeah,
Woo.
we having technical difficulties, y'all.
We had some technical difficulties. Shit.
I don't know what. Yeah. Oh.
Like I'm sitting there watching my screen. All of a sudden, the screen just went away. I was like, "What happened?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, the battery." Oh man. All right, so let's go ahead and get with the gameplay, man. My bad. Let me go ahead and play this song by Kristen and Renee called "Crazy Love."
Sunrise, sunshine, baby, you're all mine. We've got, baby, all the time. When you kiss down on me, yeah, getting up last time. Ooh, yeah. Hurry, baby, my love hormone is crazy for you. Yeah, love me down. Yeah, give me crazy love, baby. Give me love, crazy love. You never spy all night, sipping champagne under candlelight. Hold me down, I won't fight. I surrender to you, kiss and gentle bites. Give me crazy love, baby. Give me love, crazy. Baby, you know how to make me feel. Take those clothes off. See. Baby, crazy.
All right, that was Kristen Renee with Crazy Love. And if you are an independent artist, spoken word artist, comedian, singer, songwriter, ventriloquist, or you like to ride a unicycle and you feel like you're really good at it, you can log into Blast 247 and become a registered member as well as a fan, and it is all free. Blast, we're changing the industry one artist at a time. So let's get to some of the reason, most of the reason why everybody here today. So I'm gonna remove myself from this stage, and I'm gonna let you do what Infamous do.
Bet.
It's yours. Give me 3.
All right.
Yeah, you're doing 9 tonight.
Oh, okay, I got you. So I'm gonna follow in Crammy's footsteps with "If I Was a Poem." If I was a poem, I'd be every hidden and silent rage-filled letter, the quiet simmer of anger and bitter disappointment, pushed to the edge of the abyss, teetering the fine line of brimstone in heaven's glade. If I was a poem, I'd be messages from ancestors, pain-prodded pictures painted perfectly in patience, yet punctuating pacifism. If I was a poem, I tell the stories of histories the adversary wished to mask in lies. I let the truth spill from the well to splatter across page like blood that rained down from trees of strange fruit. If I were a poem, I'd be the unshed tears of the little girls whose innocence was stolen, met by the boogeyman who sneaks in windows like a thief in the night to haunt her once pleasant dreams. If I were a poem, I'd be the never before heard screams of the child who just wants to be held, wrapped in the comforting arms and defended like night protects princess, embraced in warmth of truth and guarded by dragons who would devour unwanted guests. If I were a poem, I'd be the song often overlooked and not listened to because their lyrics aren't catchy enough. Classical in essence, she's no Beyonce because her voice can't reach beyond what you say, always on mute. But her message is truth. If I were a poem, would you even listen? Past a simile or participle, would you recognize my dialect, or would my words seem foreign in concept? Would the boom of my voice shock you into action, or would it be another silent record you chose to ignore? If I were a poem, would you even listen? And that's another infamous piece. All right, let me go ahead and get into the next one. So I'm known to stir people's mind just a little bit, but I'm also known to love up on Black men. Um, I have a strong Black man that I love, so I'm gonna love up on the brothers right now. All right, so let's get to it. 'Cause you're my Black brother, strong brother. I'll never try to hurt ya. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. Skin the color of mahogany, deep like onyx, rich like cocoa, flawless like obsidian. Divinely sculpted by God's hand from the sands of Memphis to the Isle of the Nile. You, from the first man to crown Pharaoh, Black man, do you know where you stand? Eyes like embers lit by the sun, smoldering with power and passion, strong enough to strike fear in the lion, yet gentle enough to soothe a fretful babe. With each earthquake, I'm reminded of your rage. With each storm, your frustration. With each raindrop, your forgotten tears. How you wear the weight of the world on your shoulders. Your name is Atlas. At last, you can lay down your burdens. Lay them on my pillow of my bosom. Comfort and peace await you, battered Zulu warrior. Bearing your wounds and scars, allow me to apply the salve to the little boy who was locked away, pushed into the recesses of your mind. Let those unshed fears flow down like rivers. Allow them to roar as powerful waves of freedom, freeing your soul of boys. Don't cry. Man up. You aren't going to amount to nothing. You ain't shit because your daddy ain't shit. Let yourself scream like the monsters that hide in your dreams. Because you're my black brother, strong brother. There is no one above you. See, I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. Temple of knowledge and wisdom. You stand upright, appreciated and cherished from the womb to the tomb, prayed for as you start your day, anointed as you press your way, hoped for as you make it home safe. The way you lead and be the guiding light in the darkest of days, protecting heart and home. Your strength is both physical and a battle of the mind. Yet the smiles that grace cheeks of babes at the sound of your footfalls, how the pain of life tried to etch its way on the plains of your face, dive into the pools of your eyes, snatch away the brilliance of your smile. I stand ready to shield you, lift you up while you stumbled for a moment, be the fresh breath of air while you feel winded, be that safe place when you feel weak and vulnerable, your cheerleader when you need the encouragement, your teacher when you seek wisdom. I see you in all your glory because you're my black brother, strong brother. I'll never try to hurt you. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true, cause you're my black brother, strong brother. There is no one above you. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. See, you mean so much to me. You give me what I need. I'm so proud of you. Love you for staying strong. You got it going on. I'm so proud of you. See, going through thick and thin, brothers, you're gonna win. I'm so proud of you. Whenever you're facing doubt, brothers gonna work it out. See, I'm so proud of you. And that's another infamous piece. All right. Uh, so now I'm going to take y'all down a different road because I got many facets. I did If I Were a Poem and a Love for a Black Man. But you know, I gotta touch into my honey dripper just a little bit. Just a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and slide on over for a little, razzle dazzle. So I took that If I Was a Poem and flipped it. If sex was poetry. So we gonna slide right on in. If sex was poetry, each word would caress paper like hands slide across smooth skin. Each letter mimicking the movements of tongues, lips interlocking and floating through space like punctuating marks. The Y's shaped like spread legs, waiting to have you slide in between, wrapping around hips like O's as you stroke and coax O's from lips that drip and cry rivers of honey. If sex was poetry, without even touching you, I could cause a release so great you'd have an ethereal experience. If sex was poetry, I could paint pictures so potent that the perfume of my pussy would envelop you, hypnotize you, draw you into me as you salivate, craving coatings of cream and candy. Drink my elixir of prose and iambic pentameter. Lubricate your throat with each stanza as moans accompany the ballad. The haikus of you I implore. explosions of symbaric sensations. If sex were poetry, I wonder. Would it sound like a symphony of moans and groans, of oohs and ahs? If sex were poetry, it would be a rumba, slow and intentional. A tango where you lead me to climactic bliss. A salsa where each step elevates higher and higher. If sex were poetry, it would be the blending of languages, tongues twisting toward linguistic licks along latitudes of spine, sending sensations of electric elations that elope space and time. If sex were poetry, baby, you would be mine. And that's just a little bit of sex.
If sex was poetry, oh Lord, you know what? You done put some shit in my head, bro. You put some shit in my
You're
head.
welcome.
Oh man.
You're
Oh man,
welcome.
shout out to Janaya. Janaya on fire. LA Rap Sad love you. Shout out to Kenya Songbird. Shorty Rock, what it do? Shorty Rock said it'll be amazing to learn from you. It'll be an honor to learn from you. I'm just gonna tell all she got to do is reach out. Like all you got to do is hit her up. Like
That's
I
it.
promise you, just hit her up. Hit her up, man. All right. So with everything that you've been doing with poetry, everything that you have gone through, things like that, I know everything wasn't always peaches and cream. There had to be some times that were difficult, sometimes that made you want to quit, things of that nature. So, what type of adversities did you have to face, and how did you overcome them? Being a poet.
Are we talking about poetically? Is that what we talk about?
Let's talk
Poetic
about poetic.
adversity?
Let's talk about poetically first, and then let's just talk about in life in general, because you're
Oh,
still a fucking person outside of being a poet. So,
I have to know where I'm going with this because but poetically, it was more so having to try. I'm still in the midst of trying to get out of my own way because we all know our biggest enemy is ourselves.
yeah.
I constantly ask for honest feedback and critiques of my work, especially from poets that I admire, like Kenya the Songbird, Nate Senior, Her Story True, Jinx, Asean. Like, I admire all the poets in the drip. So I when I ask for genuine feedback and critique, I really mean that because I'm trying to get out of the habit of being a one trick pony, if you get what I'm going with that. I have a unique way of writing. I bask in metaphor, and then because I am an avid reader and currently also a college student, I use my vernacular. For those who don't know what that is, my vocabulary. Um, and I have a
Can't
tendency to
fucking
use it.
stand you.
I have a tendency to use $35 words, and people don't understand what I mean because they don't use those words on a daily basis. And I'm like, well, context clues, my nigga. But I was told the other day that I have to pay attention to my audience.
Mhm.
For the average person, they're not going to know half of the words that I tend to use in my poetry. And I'm trying to work on not using them so much to dumb down I guess, the way that I normally speak in my poetry so that others can understand it. And I feel like I be at war with myself because I feel like I shouldn't have to dumb down me. They should have to, elevate the me.
You know what? I was told like a long time ago. There's this poet in Shreveport, True Sister,
Mm.
and True Sister told me like I'll never forget it. It fucked me up when she said it because I didn't understand it at the moment. But she was like, she was like, Paul Cran, you want your poetry to be deep enough to keep attention, but shallow enough that everybody can swim. And I was like, you know what? I get it. Like I thought that I had to. Oh yeah, this is a big long stupid ass word. I know I'll never say it again, but I'm gonna say it in this. Like, this I'm gonna kill him with this one until I start getting questions like, "Hey man, what that mean?" And I have to like remember. I don't even fucking know what it means for real. I only read it once and I liked it. so,
Wait,
so it's
no,
like, let
we're
me
not gonna
stop
let you
doing it.
go.
Who shit? I've done that several times.
At least I know the definition of the words that I'm using.
I know it once I use it. Like if I read it and I'm like, "Ooh, what does this mean?" I like that, and I put that in a piece. And then let's say a week later, I spit the piece. I don't remember that fucking definition. I just know that word was supposed to be there because
You on my damn nerve.
that shows you memorization and learning. That's different.
They are different. And that's the thing. Like I'm big on. I tell my kids, especially my son, who he's a little genius. Don't use a word that you don't know the definition of. That was what my mother told me. If you don't know the definition of it, you should not be using it. And as a punishment, I ain't gonna hold you. After she done took all my electronics away, guess what she did? Handed me a dictionary, an encyclopedia, and a thesaurus. That was what you read.
Ooh, you just told your age. That's our group right there. That's our group. As soon as you said encyclopedia, my fucking knees started hurting. Like, God damn, boy.
Yes, we had the whole Britannica set. You in?
No, Encyclopedia Britannica, boy. I remember the commercials and everything. Begged my mama to buy them expensive ass books.
I had the whole set. And then you had that thick red Merriam-Webster dictionary. And then you had that big blue Oxford dictionary. And then the thesaurus was yellow and blue.
What times it changed. Now you just download that shit on your phone. Listen, Jade, them damn word. I can't even say that word.
I got the cacological.
We're not gonna go through this again. I remember that now. I'm not even gonna do this on this show. Have to embarrass me on my motherfucking platform. Bet you won't. You won't do it. Not to me.
Look, I will. You'll hear another word from me soon. And you'll be like, "Say it again."
That
and
word.
You might like it and be like, "I'm gonna learn the definition of this word and I'm gonna use it."
I love learning, but if I see, like, if I was to see that word just reading, and I saw that word, that A word that everybody can look at right now, if I'm just reading something and I see that word, I promise you, it's gonna read just like this. Listen. Jade and them damn words got me pulling out a dictionary, but I know what a word mean. That's how it would have went. Like,
that's pathological.
Yeah, whatever you said.
Like, I'm not gonna hold you. This is why when she's, oh my God, she's a logophile. I love it. And me and her, like, we will literally sit there on a phone call and just talk about words.
Rare is different. Like
rare is love.
Rare is different.
Shout out to Rare Epiphany.
Straight up, the eighth wonder of the motherfucking world.
Facts.
Right, so we're getting ready to go to another music break really quick. We have I like this video. I'm glad he didn't take it down yet. We're gonna go with I say her name wrong. And Sharia with Ain't Got Time. This one right here, y'all, this is definitely a vibe. So join blast247.com, look her up, follow her, man. This is definitely a dope track.
beginning and no end, and middle ground till spin. We're moving. Trust in the universe, you say. Don't you let nothing stand in the way. We're winning. Ain't got time for yesterday. We're steady keeping the faith. Tomorrow is not promised. Why not live today? We're breathing. Crisscross and mismatched shoes. Wrong path, now what to do? We're cruising. Lampshade against moonlight, offset the dark from night. We're gleaming. Ain't got time for yesterday. We're steady keeping the faith. Tomorrow is not promised. Why not live today? We're breathing. Prude clicks and passers by can't dream life beyond the skies. They're losing. Soft lips behind the lies, hate resting in their eyes. They're scheming. Ain't got time for yesterday. We're steady keeping the faith. Tomorrow is not promised. Why not live today? We're breathing. Ain't got time for yesterday. We're steady keeping the faith. Tomorrow is not promised. Why not live today? We're breathing. Hey, hear me gay, ba-da-da, ocean. Sweet, do-dee-dee, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-ba-doo-ba. Yeah, hear me gay, ba-da-da, ocean.
All right, man. That was Anne Cherie with Ain't Got Time. And once again, if you are an independent artist and you're looking for some exposure, you can go to blastmusic247.com and register for free. And also, Blast is looking for the fans. So if you are a fan of great music, great poetry, great comedy, you can also register as an unlimited fan at blastmusic247.com. And that is also free. And one more time, Blast. We're constantly changing the industry, one artist at a time. And for those of you who are just joining us, I am Paul Cram, the poet, a.k.a. Mr. Proof a Woman Can't Raise a Man. And we have none other than the infamous lyricist. She has already been blazing the lounge already, and I'm sure she is about ready to go ahead and kick it off again. So, with that being said, the stage is most definitely yours.
All right. So let's hold on to our seats, folks. We about to get emotional. This piece is When Your Birth is a Curse. All my life, I felt like just being in existence was a mistake. Seeing how, in my conception, the concept of creating a disease to eat away at the one who would bring me into fruition seemed to play simple mind games. See, It was in that conception that I was placed in the womb, yet it more so should have been my tomb, because the moment I escaped, I became the very thing that would soon wreak havoc inside one's body, unleashing enemies unseen by naked eyes, yet they roamed the plains of landfills like mass bombers, exploding and imploding, raining hellfire into lungs, kidneys, and brain matter. What hurts is the heart, because I was the cause of that. My birth was more of a curse than a blessing, yet blessing is what was called upon me, because my mother never looked at me indifferently. She never looked at me as if I was that thing that poisoned her. No, I wasn't the parasite most would complain about. I wasn't the thing that ate away at her life. No, I was the beauty that she could pour into and sculpt and mold into an immaculate sculpture, be standing upright before another, even though pain racked her body, causing her to break down, yet she never backed down. She held her ground, but it was me, who unleashed the beast, the demon, unleashing my nemesis called lupus. It was me. Yes, I unlocked Pandora's box. I walked through the gates called life. It was me. Being villain and victim all the same. Have you ever been your own worst enemy? Bigger than that thing you see reflecting in a mirror. It was me, who caused hell to rain from the heavens. Yes, I burned ground as my foot touched, spreading like poison, running rapid through bloodstreams. Just the thought of my blood coursing through veins to manipulate matter into life form, formulate brains to compute into data, transforming from her body into mine. See, I curse this day. That is the day I call birthday. 2/17. It was a Thursday, you know? It's Thursday of 1989. The 12th of October at 2:17, I took life, yet in an instant snatched it away from her. And for 47 years, I only knew her to be my mother. From 19 to 47, she fought a battle that no one could ever fathom. See, she walked it with a smile. Even while she was laid low, tubes may have transposed the essence of her throat when she couldn't speak, but her hands still raised just to caress my cheeks, to tell me it was okay. I'm not at fault. She spoke her last words, and still I wailed. I cried and screamed until I couldn't anymore. I miss my mama. So y'all may celebrate me on this day. But to me, my birth was a curse. And that's another infamous piece. For those who know me, you know, my mother was my shero. So we're going to stay on the same vein. We're going to tap into SLE. Imagine this. Small eyes watching the one who gave birth, giving life to another being, pouring your love into them because now you feel completed. Only to receive news only a couple of years later that your body now rejects you. Fighting against the vessel your spirit calls home, battling foreign invaders that have been lying in wait to ambush your organs like they were insurgents in the war. Your brain is the command center, caught in the bandwidth of bad radio waves, trying to piece together broken words to form sentences to send out unnecessary mercenaries to fight missions not on the agenda. How your body starts to shut down and still you smile and act like everything is going great. These small eyes that started to watch, they start to grow. Now their eyes and ears are ever vigilant, listening to the sounds of machines as they drain you of toxicity, or that's what the doctors say. Your kidneys no longer viable. So 3 days a week, they remove every liter of blood from you just to put it back all clean and renewed. Arch nemesis number 1. Systemic lupus erythematosus. Invisible to the naked eye, it leaves havoc in its wake. How it shuts down organs, corrupts healing, eats away at life, and drains the joy and happiness from a child's mind. How dare you rip away the happy hood my mother was creating for her child, the environment she wanted to cultivate with all she had, often misshapen and convoluted with life support and medicinal brew. How my feeble mind couldn't grasp the concept of you trying to end her life. She was mine, my life, my love, my heart. My inspiration, my motivation, my weakness. She was my shero, my mother, and you, vicious, malicious beast of a disease, solely and tortuously murdered her. And when in truth, it should have been me. Why didn't you skip the generation as you have before? You could have had anyone, but you chose her. What for? Was my pain and suffering of watching her fade not enough to end your masquerade? How you masked yourself for years, only to show your hoe ass face shortly after 2. She was only 21, had a whole life to live, but instead doctor's appointments and hospital stays become the normal. Mommy duties never stopped, so with tears of pain, she still showed up and screamed my name with pride. But no matter her joy, like a thief in the night, you crept around and sat on her chest, and at 47, she took her last breath. I should end you. But impossibly out of reach, it's not something I could do. So I'll just show you that you didn't break me. I'll be the one you missed, who dodged the bullet. Just know that from my line will come one who will end your terroristic reign, end your kingdom of massacre and suffering, and place your head in the guillotine. They will stand over your grave and say these simple words: "Here, now rest." The disease, systemic lupus erythematosus, now deceased. That's another infamous piece. Oh, we gonna stay on this vein, y'all. I told you we about to get emotional. There was a show that was hosted by Nate Sr. a while ago called the BBW Story. So I'm gonna do the weight of my story. The first time the weight of my consciousness hit heavy was at the age of 9. Entering the wilderness of womanhood, body now foreign to me, first position. Pointing of toes turned to pointing of fingers as my shape wasn't the ideal shape of a ballerina. The long and slender arms of Prima started to wrap tight around my waist like chains, weighing down each plie and deep-seated self-depreciation. Told that Prima ballerina was out of reach. Foreshadowing if I gained pounds of uncertainty, amassing self-hatred based on unculturalistic biases. Flash forward. 14 years of age. Middle school is brutal. As puberty starts to flare in most, no longer the slim and slender, my body now resembled more athletic tones, yet curves that relate hourglass counts. How often told you're too pretty to be big, or you're pretty for a big girl. But how was I big? Only 115, yet tall and full of muscle, my understanding lacked for the propensity to hide within the fabric of bitter morality. Jokes of, as big as you are, you'll never have a boyfriend. Yet no diet will stop men from stealing precious moments of innocence from me. It won't even drop the dead weight of the men that crave to mount me, let alone the lies that come from twisted tongues meant to nurture and raise you. My cries and pleas of assault meant nothing, especially when all I hear is, "It's your own ass's fault." No matter how frumpy or unsightly I try to appear, monsters still lurk to crush what beauty I may have. I gained to be unattractive while the truth starved and those around me got greedy on lives. Do you know it's impossible to self-soothe while still being abused? The mental and emotional instability creates tsunamis of rage, caged in acts of rebellion. I started to live in false realities simply because belief was non-existent. Following unconventional norms of drugs and alcohol, every "hey beautiful" followed up with the "fuck you fat bitch." When night only relationships become daytime jokes, it doesn't hurt as much if you laugh with them, especially being the designated ugly fat friend. Crazy how psychologically you damn yourself. The only way to soothe your emotional pain is to bury it in donuts, chocolate, soda, and sex. Hell, to live my life is to receive what you do in text only after 10. The night covers the fallacies of character, hiding the BBW in twilight while slim and slender shines like the sun. Basking and bathing in light, casting shadows of morbid tales, I mean my reality. Why can't I just be seen as me? Instead of the punching bag to your punchlines, I don't want to be the brutally beaten Wahine anymore. I don't the badly bruised white trying to conceal her brokenness, the bully black woman attempting to smile despite the emotional battlement she has experienced. I just want to be the beautifully beloved warrior that wears her battle-ridden scars as a testament to her survival, a bountiful, benevolent wonder whose heart is seen as a sanctuary of hope and peace. I am a bodacious black woman, and this is the weight of my story. And that's just another infamous piece.
You definitely took us on a journey. This damn. Damn. I I normally got jokes and shit. Like I wasn't prepared for this. I can't make jokes and shit about that. Like, but those are very, very, very powerful pieces. And I really want to know, like, did you get any sense of relief when you wrote these pieces? Like, in some form or fashion, was it a version of healing?
Yes, it was definitely a version of healing. I wrote SLE first, and for those who know, this will be 8 years since my mother's passed. Okay, my mother, we had a unique relationship, but she was definitely my best friend. Um, and she had lupus, kidney failure. What took her out was congestive heart failure. And I watched this woman fight every day of my life for her life. I watched her be on life support several times throughout my life. Whenever you get that call in school to come to the office, you know how kids automatically assume you in trouble? They go, ooh. No, they already knew when I got called to the office, my mom was in the hospital. That's how frequent it happened. And I was home alone, and it just hit me. It's National Kidney Month, which May is National Kidney Month. And I just wrote this poem out of nowhere. I don't know what came over me, but my pen just started moving, and I was boo-hooing as I was writing it. And I felt at peace because I finally got to get out that anger that I had towards the disease. Then I did The Weight of My Story for the BBW story that Nate Sr. hosted. And when I wrote this, Kenya was involved. Her Story True was involved. I believe Rare and Stina also were in this show. The day that I wrote this, I believe me and Kenya and Her Story True cried together because it was woo, it was one of those, this is my story, and I can relate. Um and then on my birthday, I believe it was 2023, Nate did the used to do improv on IG. And on my birthday, he gave me the prompt. When your birthday is a curse.
Damn,
And I'm like,
that's
nigga,
diabolical.
fuck
that's,
you.
that's diabolical, bro.
That's what I said. That's diabolical, my guy. He was like, I know. He was like, I don't know why. It just came to me, and I just knew it had to be you. And I was like, bruh. But when I spit it, he was like, from now on, that's how you because it just off the dome. Literally, I got that, all of that for that piece was off the dome, and I had to go back and watch the live to transcribe it because he was like, that was power right there, and I'm like, I want to punch in the face.
And it's a lot of poets out there who are really, really good at giving prompts, and they give prompts in a way that is gonna fuck. Like Javi gave me one, and it sent me down a 3-4 day fucking rabbit hole of research. Like, and I was happy that I found the information out that I found out, and I wrote a dope ass piece. But the fact that I felt like I had to do work, like I read
You
this,
wanted to fight,
man, like because like to this day, like this man gave me this prompt like last year. To this day, I'm still researching on this shit. Like, it's still stuff that I'm learning about it. Like, oh, bro, and I get into it, and I just stop. Be like, I'm about to call Javi and cuss him the fuck out. He ain't gonna know why I'm cussing. I'm just gonna cuss and hang up.
yeah. I mean, it definitely has those moments. I know, I believe it was 22 or 23. We used to have like, it was Nate, me, Kenya, Her Story, and another another poet, which I shall not mention.
No. I need to know who the poet is that's involved. You gotta say the name.
You messy. No.
How am I messy? I don't know nothing about nothing.
You trying to start shit. That's what you trying to do. He shall forever remain nameless.
Oh wait, okay, I remember the story now. All right, I got it. I got it. I honestly look, I didn't even know that's the route you were going. I thought it was a whole different particular person.
No. We used to have like writing workshops because the point was to push our pens outside of our norm, and we were also doing her multiverse. We were taking comics.
Shit.
We were taking Marvel and DC comics characters, and giving them context where it's relatable. It's not just they're just these superheroes or these villains. No, these are actual people. They actually had love lives. They actually had, relationship issues. They actually had trauma and all that. And we took that idea, and the very first show we did together with me, Kenya, and Her Story True was Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, and Catwoman. And Kenya was Catwoman. And she did a phenomenal job. And she put some of her story into Catwoman's story. I already had Harley Quinn. So it just made Harley Quinn easier for me. But I had to pull from the toxic, abusive relationship that I was in for years and put that into Harley Quinn. And then Her Story True was Poison Ivy, and she had to pull some of hers into that. And when I tell you it was an emotional roller coaster, Oh Lord. It we didn't cry together, we didn't cuss each other out. We didn't we we didn't said, you know what, this ain't worth it. I quit.
Man, I'd have been there with pieces, but I'm like, man, you know what? Fuck this. I can't do that. Letter to My Father was one of those pieces where it was like it took me so long to like really finish writing that piece. And it took even longer for me to get comfortable enough to really spit the piece. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like I've said before, it's like I I held on to anger for my pops because I had nothing else to hold on to. So if I let go of the anger and the hatred, I don't have nothing. So
Right.
so I chose to hold on to it because that means I connect to him some way. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so it was yeah, so I understand pieces like that. That shit's woo. Yeah,
It does
sorry.
take you down that road, but you know, it's necessary. It's necessary to push your pen.
So it is 8 o'clock. I would like to know if you got you got two more pieces for me?
I got some, yeah.
All right, so this is what I want you to do. I'm gonna remove myself from the stage. I want you to give these people two fire ass pieces, and then I'm gonna bring myself up. Upon me bringing myself up, you just let everybody know where they can follow your pen, anything you got coming up, promote, dripnotist, or anything else you need to promote, and then we get up out of here. All right,
Alright,
all
alright.
right. Stage is yours.
Alright, so as I stated, I do character pieces, but the first character piece is still gonna be on that emotional vein. Trigger warning. Normally I do not do these. I do not give trigger warnings. But I am gonna give a trigger warning for this because yeah. Um the DV, domestic violence, is a real thing. So we definitely gonna tap into something. This one is titled "Why Does She Stay?" Why does she stay? I can't seem to understand what she sees in me. The fog before her eyes has yet to clear, but I know my flaws stand fully visible. My brokenness front and center, yet her smile never falters. Her eyes sparkle like diamonds every time she looks up at me. Me, a simply weak vessel, denying that though my trauma past runs deep in her, I will find peace. Piece together, heart and hand, lie and bruise until I Picassoed my dream. Let me paint the scene. Visions of midnight strolls as hands embrace, smiles and laughter fills the air, the light in her eyes bright like the evening star, her naivety, her weak point, her every sweet nothing hits home, slithering in her ears, poisoning her mind, she's mine. Now watch as I confine her, restrain her to confines of our confinement. She's mine. Little eyes paint pretty pictures, and I convince her that everyone is against us and no one truly loves her but me. Can't you see how my plans to deny her the reality of her value, so my words strangle her independence into submission, and my mission is to devalue her gold? First strike slaps hard and true, causing ears to ring and eyes to widen. See what you make me do. Listening to people who don't give a fuck about you. My apologies coat her like salves on a wound. Preying on her naivety, she falls for my ploy, and once more I pretend to woo her. Break her mentally, all the while tormenting her body, attempting to speak out of turn. Her lips burn from the pound of my fists. Her screams and pleas for me to love her echo off floorboards and broken headboards. I board this bullet train aimed at the core of our issues. She says she'll do better. My voice echoes a sonic boom of I made you, gave you life more abundantly, yet you call for another? I am your savior from starvation and destitute. It was me raised you from rags to riches. Now the only thing I seem to call her is whores and bitches. Why does she stay? This question seems to be rhetorical. It's deception developed over the misconception of love. How I've convoluted the essence of what she sees. My voice echoes in her mind. If you leave, you fail. Every time she packs her bags, dialed to call the cops, miraculously it hits her. I'll just post bail, be hot on a trail. If I can't have you, no one will. Can't you understand? This is just how I love you. You frustrate me at times, but I promise this is the last time I play the role of healing what I've broken. Bitch, who the fuck you talking to? The shadow that casts over her plays with her memories, blending happiness with nightmares. Times I made her feel like she was the only girl in the world, with times she would feel like her world would end. My obsessive, possessive nature breathed life into the demon that wished to drag her to hell. This burning bed I've created seems to have ignited in her a fire of survival. So with each ignored call, my fatal attraction grew to her. It was then that I knew I would not be ignored. So I applied more pressure, and she grew more desperate to flee until she cracked and cracked and cracked against my skull. Her life ruined. As I lay here looking up at her tear-stained face, I could see clearly the scars and bruises upon her soul, how she seemingly withered away under my hands, that her eyes no longer sparkled like the northern lights, but darkness swam there. Darker than the deepest chasm, her tender hands that once felt like silk now were heavy as stone. And before she walked away, her voice, weak and trembling, shook the core of me. I forgive you. So why does she stay? It's beyond me. That's another infamous piece. And lastly, but not least, it's an oldie but a goodie. We're going to do the altar I pray to, and we're going to get up out of here. Let me rest. Lay down my cares, if only for a little while. See, I carry a weight so heavy that I'm surprised I'm not laid out prostrate, broken back in nature. You wanted more of what I couldn't give. No matter what I gave, enough would never satisfy your hunger. You, like a black hole, gaping, sucking everything out of me, my essence depleting at a rapid pace. This seems to be a common place for the incubus in you. No matter what I do, it's not pliable for your palate. My love, not digestible. Glutton is what I should call you. Yeah, you call it debatable. Refutable. Irrefutable at best. I detest the things I would do for you. Pour out myself in increments too large to be held by your jaws. No matter the requirement, I gave you all of me, praying for you to love me truly. I sacrificed my sanity on the altar of your ego, running towards incomplete love with nowhere else to go, confessing bitterness created from the cold, frigid way you held me. The sting of the frostbite that kissed my lips so tenderly as you murmured how this circumstance was a misconception of love. This altar I pray to seems to be broken, filled with hocus pocus of lies magically to die. The torment of knowing I'd never be enough to you, giving me a complex, treating me like a derelict. No compassion, you suffocate me with ill content. Why can't you accept me? I lie awake at night, oftentimes wondering, is it me that entrances your dreams? Am I the one that finds her way into the most intimate places of thought? You say that I'm on your mind, but do I have your heart? They say your dreams are images created by the heart, so is it me? Or does another still have a grip on your reality, squeezing your heart perpetually of its need to breathe in this love I pour out for you? Is it me? Or someone else you dream of? Kneeling before the altar I pray to, asking the Lord to send me a sign of what I seek. Why must you rip at my garb that shields me from this tempest of regret? You cause monsoons of emotional imbalance. These tidal waves wreak havoc on my insecurities. You tell me you chose me, yet your actions dance violently on my battered body, while your lies lie ferociously with snarling teeth of the beast waiting to end me. My cries to God, begging for release. The Satan in you rises like the bile from my gut, regurgitating sinister variations of toxic love, manipulating the narrative no matter how hard the truth fights against its internment. Like the interview with a vampire, you drained the life out of me, and now I'm the walking dead, constructing up me this residence of evil, insidious in nature, the conjuring of prophecies foretold of demonic legions to batter me into submission, crying for the priest to exorcise me from this act. I cry, pleading with God for a glimmer of hope. I pray at this altar. Lift me up from this crucifixion of diction of involuntary manslaughter. Abba, Father, why have you forsaken me? I am broken and weak. Can anyone hear me? So here I lay down, the last of these cares, praying that you'll stop preying upon me, for my cup is depleted. At the altar I pray to, here I'll rest, waiting for refreshment or death. And that's another infamous piece.
You know what? Hold on. I got a sound for that. I got a sound for that. Here.
Now you had to go to your soundboard. I'm screaming.
My soundboard. Oh man. Yeah, look at this dude. he gonna kill that real estate.
I swear, man, it's not even gonna be funny no more. Like, stop, nigga. But for those who want to know, you know, because I do follow directions. For those who want to know, y'all can always find me here on IG at infamous lyricist _ or society _ of poets. You know, you can also follow me on Instagram at jgraham, and then TikTok, of course, infamous lyricist as well. I
ain't got nothing to do with that. You need to continue to do what you do. I got nothing to do with that. I read it like you read it. I ain't got shit to do with it.
You know, you can definitely also find me on Clubhouse. Okay. In the Honey Dripper space, Partisan Rhyme. You find me around the app. I'll be there. Society of Poets, definitely. Be around. I'll be around. Make sure that y'all stay on the lookout for season 2. Season 2. Okay, because season 1 was a hit. If y'all missed it, we gonna see what we can do to bring y'all up to date on showing y'all season 1. No promises. Oh, no promises. But season 2 is on the way. It is on the way. So stay on the lookout for the Dripnotist, the origin stories, written and produced and directed by Kenya the Songbird, Asean Panda Owens, and myself. And we have a all-star. You hear me? Let me repeat that. All-star. Phenomenal cast. Okay? And they be showing their ass. Listen, Crammy one of them. I ain't gonna tell you his character, but he one of them.
I'm a little bit different. I'm a little bit numbers.
Oh, wait, what? I'm confused.
Inside joke. Insider.
You get one nurse?
Pyro say make sure you let him know that music production
is produced by the music production in sound production is definitely done by Pyro, the obnoxious.
He be hitting them buttons. He hit them buttons, make the sounds go.
Yeah,
he doing it.
To the Pyro, the obnoxious. But yeah, you also can catch me every Sunday in the Honey Dripper Poetry Lounge. Because, you know, the Honey Drippers always got something going on. You know, we do big things. I I'm gonna do a shameless plug for Javi, because I'm pretty sure he's up in Albany right now performing at the Fuse Box.
Albany. The word is Albany. It's not no Albany. You country.
You got some nerve. Anyway, you got some nerve to talk about how I speak, but we
Just
not gonna do this on this here show because
we gonna
we
I'm
have
gonna
to
let
be
it rock.
professional.
All right.
But I'm gonna say it again how I say it, and you can kiss my red behind. Albany, he up there at the Fuse Box, performing. But if y'all want to catch the Honey Drippers live in action, you might want to slide through. Because I know on the 31st of this month, Central Saturdays in Atlanta, the Drip does show up there. And there also be in yeah, they definitely will be in Houston, July 14th through 17th, something like that.
They're gonna be well.
Houston.
You gonna make me fight you.
I sure am.
She said Houston. Like you said you like I said me and you Houston. Is that what you said?
Hugh.
I couldn't hear I didn't hear that part.
I'm sorry that I don't be trying to give everybody a whiff of what I ate. You know, y'all be loving to show people y'all breath be on fire. So y'all be doing the most with the huh and the puh and the duh and the stuh. And breath smell like why?
All right, Foots, you got it. Oh man. So, you have any books or anything that you would like to promote?
I'm still in the working of getting that out there. Hopefully the book will be ready and in the works of being released for publishing. My goal has always been Mother's Day, but I've had to keep pushing it back because I just haven't felt ready yet. So the goal is Mother's Day next year. So yeah, and the novel should be out shortly after that, probably my birthday next year.
Bet. Well, before we close out the show, Pyro had a question. He wanted to know what's the favorite poem that you've written?
My favorite poem that I've written. Oof.
I know what he wants you to say.
I think I know what he wanted me to say too, and I'm not. I was paid to write that poem. I was paid to write Concrete Jungle, sir. I probably would have to say I had the most fun writing Command Me with Jinx. That was a collab piece that me and him wrote for the Drip. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, on behalf of the Louisiana Lyricist Lounge, I want to say thank you for coming through and doing what Infamous does, plays that stage. It was an honor to spend time with you, man. You with your goofy ass. So
you get about fucking there. But it was an honor to be here, sir. Thank you for the invite, and I will definitely, if you do it again, if you do a rerun, I'll be back.
No doubt. And to everybody who showed up, man, I appreciate it, man. I love it. Every week y'all come through, you show up and you show out. And I say it every time, and I mean it every time. Without you, there will be no Louisiana Lyricist Lounge. So thank you all who comes out and support. Poets, if you got something to say, man, don't sit on it. Speak on that shit. We out.